He has the best superpower in the world and he uses it to satisfy his darkest desires. It all starts in a strong storm. A man named Tantabus digs up an ancient grave. In that moment a lightning strikes him and throws him towards his truck. Despite the impact, Tantabus stands up and smiles and leaves the place. Then we meet Kelly, who is in a store buying something to eat. In the place he meets the girl he likes called Dominique. She is accompanied by her friend Sarah. Everything seems that Dominique likes Kelly. However, he is too shy to start a conversation. We discover that Kelly has an eating disorder which leads him to eat inedible things. Because of his strange attitudes, the bad guys at school made fun of him. We see that Nelson, Reed, Tony and Brad bother him and make fun of Kelly. Dominique tries to protect him but Kelly ends up being thrown into a dumpster. Fortunately, the owner of the store ends up kicking them out of the place and helps Kelly. Every day Kelly's condition gets worse and he keeps things to chew on at school. The young man is back home now, living with his mother Bernice. We meet a man named Red Elk. He is doing a ritual with strange objects. Kelly's condition starts to get worse. His worried mother looks for any way to help him. She starts by calling a doctor who tells her that Kelly's problem is mental and they should look for a specialist. Tantabus is talking to many people and assures them that he can cure any disease in exchange for money. An old woman approaches him and the man heals her knee and everyone is surprised. Kelly's mother asks for his help and the man accepts. Red Elk arrives and asks him to return the healing power since it belongs to his tribe and Tantabus refuses and Red Elk slaps him and they reveal that any damage Tantabus receives will return. The man mocks and leaves. Tantabus goes to Kelly's house, but before that he demands his payment in advance. However, when he touches Kelly the man begins to feel very bad and retreats to the bathroom and comes back smoking and tries again. The man places his hands on Kelly and receives all his illnesses ending up lifeless. Kelly wakes up feeling completely new and very hungry. The police arrive for the man's body and Kelly's mother notices that the cigarette scars have disappeared. The next day Kelly injures a finger but notices that the wound heals instantly. He tells his mother, but the woman is happy to see Kelly well and does not believe him and does not give importance to everything he said. Then we see how Kelly's bike breaks down and he meets Dominique again. She tells him that he looks different. When she leaves she meets one of those who had thrown him in the trash. Reed attacks Kelly and hits him twice, but everything comes back to himself. Terrified he runs, leaving Kelly very happy with his new powers. At night Kelly comes to tell her mother everything and suddenly someone knocks on the door. It is Gus, Reed and Nelson's father. The man confronts Kelly's mother to find out who hit his son. Kelly tries to explain what happened, but when she sees how skinny he is she doesn't believe him. The upset mother closes the door in his face. Kelly shows her mother her new powers, asks her mother to pinch him and she ends up feeling the pain. Kelly also sets fire, however, nothing seems to hurt her. At school Sarah gives Dominique a hair ribbon. Already in class Kelly sits behind Dominique and suddenly Dominique's ribbon falls out of her hair and Kelly takes it to eat it and then gives it back to Dominique. Suddenly she begins to imagine a hot day with Dominique in little clothing. Without imagining that Dominique begins to feel the same as Kelly feels. Unexpectedly Sarah joins them. The ribbon that Kelly ate was Sarah's. Sarah joins the game and also begins to feel strange. Kelly imagines that Dominique and Sarah kiss her and it makes the two feel more and more strange. However, Sarah cannot take it anymore and lets out a scream in class. Kelly falls and runs out of the class and covers the soldier. Sarah and Dominique are confused by what happened. At night Kelly discovers that Nelson and his friends are harassing Dominique and without hesitation runs towards her to defend her and confronts them using her new superpower. Kelly is not afraid of them. Gus arrives at the place and tells his children to leave the place and threatens Kelly. The angry young man takes his bike and leaves the place. While returning home Kelly is surprised by Brad and the other boys. They try to push him with the car. When he hits the bike Kelly falls to the ground. However, the damage is reflected in Brad, who was the one driving the car. Brad ends up hurt. Everyone gets out of the car and calls an ambulance. They see Kelly alive. Everyone was scared and flee the place, leaving Brad alone. Kelly takes off her clothes and you can see how she heals immediately. Dominique and Sarah arrive at the place and find Kelly and Brad very injured inside the car. Kelly tells them everything that happened. When the police arrive, the commissioner asks them about the situation and they tell him that Kelly was the culprit in front of the car with his bike. The next day Dominique is very romantic with Kelly. She wants him to ask her out. She shows that she likes him. However, Kelly doesn't understand the hints and is very stupid. Dominique gets tired and she ends up inviting him to go to the movies. Nelson and his friends plan to get revenge on Kelly. Night comes and Kelly talks to her mother, but she doesn't feel very well and Kelly goes out to get medicine. Nelson and his friends think that Kelly's mother leaves the house. They begin to prepare the revenge. They carefully approach the trailer where Kelly and her mother live. The boys tie the base of the trailer and pull it with a truck, making it fall on its side, and Kelly's mother gets trapped. The fall causes a gas leak that seconds later makes the house explode with the woman inside. Kelly returns and manages to rescue her mother from the fire and the rubble. However, her mother is found dead. Later we see that Kelly is in the hospital and the commissioner brings her the only clothes she has left. Red Elk asks the commissioner to help him regain the power that belongs to his ancestors. The commissioner begins to doubt the man's sanity. Kelly says goodbye to her mother and then goes to visit Tantibue's grave. Dominique follows him and tells him that it's not fair that he has to leave and gives him a kiss on the cheek. Kelly finally takes Dominique and kisses her, but she receives Kelly's memories and finds out that what happened in class was Kelly's fault. Confused, she says goodbye and leaves. Kelly eats one of the leaves that are on Tantibue's grave and this seems to hurt her. Meanwhile, Sarah was hiding and watching everything. Later the commissioner takes Kelly to the place where she will sleep that night. The commissioner tells her that the support of the house was pulled before it exploded. At that moment the culprits pass the commissioner's vehicle and then Kelly realizes that they were the ones who caused her mother to lose her life. Kelly, angry, jumps out of the commissioner's vehicle, followed them to the river, and one of them jumps into the water. Kelly eats a piece of the shirt and the rest uses it on his neck and ends up suffocating the young man. Nelson takes him to the shore, however, he had already been killed. Seeing Kelly, Red runs away. Kelly was about to finish off the next one but the commissioner arrives at the place, so Kelly decides to escape. Night comes and Kelly goes with Dominique to tell her her plan to avenge her mother, but she convinces Kelly that it is better that they confess and not finish them off for revenge. The next day Kelly goes to class and starts making fun of Tony. The young man gets angry and throws acid in his face, but Tony is the one who receives the damage from the acid. Sarah hits Kelly in the crotch and the damage is returned to her. Also, Kelly was about to take revenge on Nelson, but just at that moment the commissioner arrives and tries to help Tony. Kelly takes advantage of the moment to escape. At night Sarah tells Nelson about Kelly's weakness. They go to the grave and collect the necessary leaves. In the morning we see that Red Elk obtains a permit to open Tantibue's grave. While Gus trains his children, the commissioner finds the chain with which Kelly's house was pulled and immediately goes to talk to Gus. Meanwhile, Kelly opens the van and finds a drill and also eats a piece of underwear. Nelson already has the grave leaves prepared, but before Kelly hurts his knees to make Nelson receive the damage and make him confess, the commissioner tells Kelly to come to his senses and that he knows about the powers he obtained thanks to Tantabus. Dominique arrives at the place while Gus pounces on Kelly, but he remains lying on the ground. Nelson manages to spray Kelly with the liquid and he weakens, however Dominique manages to clean him in time. Gus takes the commissioner's gun and points it at Kelly's head. He shoots without expecting that he and his son Nelson would be left dead. After this, Dominique and the commissioner convince Kelly to return the power. Night falls and the commissioner and Red Elf perform the ritual to get the power back. Kelly has had the power for too long, so it is impossible to take it away without taking her life. In the process Kelly was going to escape, but one of the policemen shoots him and Dominique. The girl before dying tells Kelly not to give them that power. He furiously promises that that power will die with him. Kelly takes the heart of the Tantabus body and when eating it he feels all the damage that he returned. Kelly is left lifeless along with Dominique. Later we see that their bodies are transported in an ambulance and suddenly Dominique gets up. Now she has the power and thirst for revenge. Don't forget to like